I'm Natelle Williams, a women's occasion wear designer and founder of the Natelle Williams brand. Welcome to my personal diary, a safe space for us to talk about business, fashion, life, and everything in between. I'm on a journey to build my brand, and if you're listening to this, I'm glad to have you here. So, let's pick up where we left off, shall we? But first, let me talk you through today's outfit. I have on a full corset. This is steel boned, so it's super supportive. It's a cotton velvet, very soft, very luxurious feeling, breathable fabric because we are now in spring summer. So I wanted something that was going to breathe with me. It's lined with a nice peach cotton as well. And it just feels good, you know. It's got a nice kind of bat wing almost neckline with a nice point. The girls are saying good. And we've got eyelets at the back. Let me turn around. You see? Eyelets at the back, closure, and the skirt. Let me get. Can you see that? The skirt is a beautiful ombre fabric, which goes from a white, off-white cream all the way down to this lovely sunset peach colour all the way through, and on top of it I have an embellished net which just gives it the perfect finish. So any occasions, weddings, summer parties, etc., anything you want to wear it to really. But yeah, I can't wait to wear this out this summer. The peachy dress is what I've called it. And of course I've got this, well, it can be worn around the neck, but I'm not going to wear it around my neck right now because of my hair. But it's nice and sheer, so it kind of gives you the feeling that you're covered up, but you've still got a little bit on show, which I love. So that's today's outfit. And it's two separate pieces, I should say. Two separate pieces, because I like to work separates, so that you can wear the skirt with something else if you wish, and you can wear the corset with something else if you wish, and it goes great together. But yeah, this is crazy. It's kind of crazy. Who knew I was so boobalicious? But you might be wondering what's in the background. Actually, we'll come on to that a little bit later, but let us continue the story. It all made sense in Milan. The last part that I finished telling you was praying in the church. I was praying in the church. I was asking for a sign. They say, ask and you shall receive. So that was on the Monday. Got back to England Monday evening. Had a couple of days off work. I was back to the office on, I believe it was the Wednesday. On Thursday, I had a diary request. A meeting dropped into my diary, and the tone of this meeting request let me know something was coming. Something was bubbling, you know. And my manager at the time, the loveliest guy you could meet. I have so much respect for him. A brilliant, wonderful person. Cultivated a great team, a great culture, and the tone of his email wasn't his usual. He's a very informal, friendly kind of guy. That's his way. It's not really so, formal. But this email was. So I knew it was something serious that we had to talk about. And I had my suspicions, based on previous conversations, that changes might be coming in the company. So with that in mind, I was thinking, could this be the sign that I was asking for? So Friday comes along. We have a meeting. And yes, my suspicions were correct. There were changes that were imminent, and shifts were being made around the company. And basically I was given the choice to move to another department, as they wanted to keep me in the company, but my department was to be no more. Or redundancy would be the other option. And they made it very, very clear that they wanted me to stay at the company, and that was, I was very appreciative of that, because not everybody had the same outcome. But in my head, I'm thinking, wow, I just said this prayer on Monday. I came back to work, I can't remember if it was the Wednesday or the Thursday, we'll call it Wednesday. And now I'm here on Friday, and this is the conversation that I'm having. This was the sign that I was asking for. This was, if I couldn't have asked for a clearer sign, it couldn't have been any clearer. So I think my countenance on that day and the way I responded, it was probably a little bit, I think I left the people in the room that were given the information a little bamboozled because there were multiple conversations had that day, and I'm sure the others went differently, as it would. It's an upsetting thing. It's, your whole life is turned upside down when you're told, news like that, and all these, your work is such a big part of our lives that if there's such upheaval at work, it has a knock-on effect into your personal life and your family life and your future plans and everything else. So I was quite cool, very cool, calm, collected, almost happy that I got my sign, and this was the confirmation I needed to move on to the next step. So the way that conversation ended was, thanks for letting me know. I know I've got something to think about now, and I said that I'd go home thinking about it and then let you know my decision as to whether I'm going to move to another department or take the other option, which would have been the redundancy. That's what I did, but in my head I already knew what I was going to do. So, thought about it over the weekend a little bit, just logistically how it's going to work, because that wasn't the plan. It's still a new plan for me that I need to forge out now, because that was never something that I considered up until, that weekend. But I did, and I went back on Monday and I gave them my decision, and it was to take the redundancy. And I think that was quite shocking, and at the time I think I delivered it with a smile, and I was joyful and upbeat, and I think that was, again, kind of confusing because that's not the norm, but again, it was the faith that I had in the prayers that I'd said that gave me that level of, I don't know what's coming next, but I know I'm going to be okay. I know somehow my bills are going to be paid. I know the mortgage is going to be straight. I know the bills are going to be straight. I know I'm going to be able to fill my car with diesel. I know that I'm going to be able to buy the materials that I need. I know that I'm going to be able to do everything I need to do to maintain my home and my life and still make my dreams happen. I know there will be a way. I just don't know the clear path right now. I don't know what it looks like, but I know it will happen. So that is how I ended up leaving my role after, I think I was in that role. I wasn't in that role for 5 years, but I was at the company for 5 years. So yeah, that is how I ended up leaving my job. But I'm still in contact with the team to this day. I've found great friends in and amongst that team. I just saw them a couple of weeks ago, actually, at a leaving do for that same manager. He's just moved to go and live in another country, actually, with his family. So yeah, left on great terms, no hard feelings. I actually went back there to do a short contract to cover someone's paternity leave after I left, and I have been picking up contracts, part-time contracts, since. And that's how I've been maintaining my home and bills and everything else. And I will continue to do that until what I'm doing is able to cover my whole life. Because, that's real. it takes time to build a brand, it takes time to build a company, it takes time to have that consistent stream of money coming in, especially when you're doing something like custom clothing. You know, that client base has to grow. So I'm very aware and I'm committed to the cause. It will happen, it will work. I have no doubt about that. It's just about being consistent, sticking with it, and giving it my 110%, even more so when I feel like, oh, I might just want to chill and watch Netflix today. I might just want to, you know, go and see the girls. Sometimes, yeah, it's good to do those things, but the majority of the time has to be on what I'm doing. And that's the commitment I've made. So that's the story. That is the story as to how I left my job.